Good morning, YouTube. I hope you all are having an amazing day. Today, man, this is something that's always kind of piqued my interest, and it's finally that time to talk about it. Mount Everest. Climbing Mount Everest. Where do we start here? I was zooming through looking at documentaries and ended up finding Storm over Everest. I don't know if you guys have, I'd imagine the people that are also interested in climbing Mount Everest that probably watched Storm Over Everest, Rob Hall and Scott Fisher and all those guys, National Geographic. So I watched that and I was hooked immediately. I was like, holy dude, that is insane. Because a lot of these people that were climbing that day, it wasn't like they had a lot of experience. A lot did, but there was a few that had very little experience and they were about to be at the highest point in the world, which just blew my mind. Absolutely blew my mind. And essentially, you can find a guide, and you pay for your permits and all this, your guide, you get Sherpas, so on and so forth. And they'll literally drag you to the top of the Mount Everest. But yeah, anyways, I watched that. I even got the book. I got the book, and then of course I stemmed out and I watched some of the documentaries for like K2 and all that, and Annapurna, I believe. But yeah, I watched all these documentaries and I was like, "Holy dude!" And I've been interested. I even kind of still like look at it year to year, just kind of see what's going on, and it's become commercialized. It's a legit business, man. If you got enough money, they will try to take you to Everest, at the tippy top, boys, tippy top of the world. If you got enough money, they can get you there. As you can see by this picture here, that's the reason I brought this picture up, because I seen this picture and this is actually legit. This is a legit picture of a line waiting to get to summit Everest. Look at that many people. That is insane. And also incredibly, like, stupid dangerous. Because, like, all those people you see up there, they pretty much have to come down the exact same route. And I remember watching a video, they'd have to unhook, squeeze by someone, hook back into the line. I don't know if it's that way in every situation, but in that particular situation, that is what I seen, which is crazy, dude. Absolutely crazy. And even at some points, they were like stepping over a body. Like this individual was still strapped in, attached to the rope that everyone was walking past. You imagine that, like, you're climbing, you're going up there to summit, and then you have to unhook to the line just to move it forward just a little bit because one of your fellow humans that had planned on climbing the mountain that day is still strapped in, but gone. That's crazy, dude. Number one, I'll never even try it. The best I would probably do is make it to base camp, and I'm still iffy about that due to the avalanches. But yeah, I mean that is insane, absolutely insane. Waiting in line to make it so you can go summit Everest and then come back down. You don't even get to spend that long up there. I think most of the time it's just a few minutes. In this situation, they have to be rushing you because they got several people waiting. You probably get to just summit, take a couple pictures, and you're right back down. Because you only have like such a, well, what is it, mainly during the springtime, from pretty much March to a few, maybe like June or something like that, and sometimes in the fall, but mainly during the springtime. But yeah, and then you also, like, you see like the aftermath of climbing season, and you see all the garbage that's left behind, the oxygen tanks, tents, clothes. You get the picture. Yeah, it's kind of disgusting. And this is what brings me to part of the conversation too, is like the Sherpas. Like, I know they get this is a source of money from them, but dude, it is stupid dangerous. And most of these people coming in are just like crazy disrespectful. Because you got like someone climbing that mountain. It's like the Sherpas have to climb it like 3 or 4 times because they're the ones that go and put up the ropes so that everyone can strap in. They're the ones packing your gear up and down the mountain. Then they help you to the top of the mountain. Then they help you back down. Then they go back up and get your stuff, and then they come back down. Like it's crazy, dude. How much work the Sherpas put in. Those people should be millionaires from this. And even like the storm over Everest, there was this woman. I guess she was like a TV star or something like that. I don't remember the name right off the top of my head, but she was on Scott Fisher's team, and there was actually a Sherpa that was dragging her up the mountain. That's crazy, dude. And then, like, where we was talking about the garbage a while ago, like, after a climbing season, a lot of these Sherpas actually go back up there and try to help. They go on like garbage runs where they go up there and they try to bring as much waste and stuff as possible down to, try to keep it somewhat clean, which, is not always possible because some of this stuff ends up in bad spots, weather, you get the picture. And it's just a lot of increased danger to the Sherpa as well, which is, just being up there in general is just a lot of danger. But yeah, dude, like, that's what made me want to talk about the video, though. March is just a couple weeks away. People are going to be getting climbing season. They're going to start getting acclimatized and all that. And who was it? Like Hillary and Tenzing? Norgay? Norgay? Those are the first two that that they know made it to the tippity top of the mountain. I can't remember. Is it Mallory and Irvine? They're not sure about. They ended up. Obviously, they are gone. They don't know if they summited the mountain or if they didn't even make it. So the last they seen, I can't remember the route that they said they were on, but I think they seen them at the Hillary step, and that's the last they seen of them. They don't know if they summited and ended up perishing on the way back down, or if they didn't even make it to the top and something happened. But they do have expeditions where people go to Mount Everest and try to locate their belongings. That way they can see if they actually summited first or not. Because a lot of people speculate and think that they did. Who knows? But as of right now, Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay are the first two to summit Everest. And this was back in the 50s, early 50s, if I'm not mistaken. And it was the early 50s they actually summited. And it went from that, and then it turned to this, man. Like, who would have thought, like, just hundreds of people trying to summit Everest at once? Yeah, I mean, this is what this looks like. I can't say it's hundreds, but, it's just a ton of people. Ton of people. You got enough money, you can buy those permits. You can get on Mount Everest. And what's crazy about it is year after year, man, you hear about the avalanches, little disasters happening, several deaths, which is, and people still show up wanting to climb it. Yeah, and that just blows my mind because these people just must really want to be at the tippity top because I have no interest, especially like in a climb. Like it would be different, like if you had like a 20-man team or something like that, and that's all you had to worry about. And once you made it to the top, you could actually enjoy it and not be like snap, snap, gone. Maybe that would be a little bit more enticing, but going up there like in a line like this, no, definitely not. And in general, feel sorry for the Sherpa, dude. Like I know they're getting paid, and a lot of them it's helped be able to move out and make a better source of income. But still, man, like when you talk about a dangerous job, holy moly. And they're built different, man. Because, like I said, they're packing their stuff that they need, your stuff. They're up and down the mountain constantly setting the ropes, dragging people up the mountain. Literally. I think there's actually another, like, maybe a documentary or a video out there of what was it? Climbing Mount Everest with a mountain on my back. Is essentially talking about how like the Sherpa, pretty much do everything during these events. And I don't want to take away, because there's people like some amazing climbers out there. But all these where it's become commercialized, and all these people are coming in, and they're not as well trained in the climbing universe, and these Sherpa are just having to pick up that load. Absolutely insane, man. Absolutely insane. And then getting back on the storm over Everest, dude. I've watched that documentary like 3 times just because that's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Hearing the stories from those people and how they. Who's the doctor? He lost some digits, and he suffered from snow blindness when he had almost made it to the top, and he had to wait on Rob Hall, yeah, Rob Hall, to come back down. And he never did, and eventually, people on the way back down was able to get him to come on because he was up there with another client. Can't remember his name, but they were struggling real bad, and Rob Hall and that guy ended up passing away. Pretty much almost at the summit. Pretty much all your trained professionals there went down. Because, I mean, even Scott Fisher, who was the leader of the other expedition, he ended up passing away. He had to take a client back down, and then he was coming back up, and, people were saying that he looked exhausted, but just kept moving. And, yeah, things went south. Then that storm just kind of rolled in, man. Some of these people are so lucky to be alive, super lucky to be alive. I can't remember exactly how many people passed away then. It was a big number. It's crazy, man. Yeah, that's just something I can't fathom how, after all that, then plus how it's become so commercialized, how people still want to do it. Yeah, I mean, you can't even say it's like a bragging right anymore because so many people's been to the top. I'm sure 40 years ago, that was big business. Like you were one of, only a few elite people. Don't get me wrong. There's been several expeditions, but usually, highly trained climbers. And this was, they had experience on 8K meter peaks, and this is from what the way it was explained, it's not the most difficult climb, but is the tallest. You're at the highest point. So that's what they come to do. They come to conquer that. And now, you look at this. How many people summited on this day in this picture? Not as not as cool anymore, I guess, if you want to say it like that. But anyways, I'll stop yapping. I just wanted to yap about that, talk about the random stuff. I don't know. It always kind of piqued my interest. Just looking up this stuff and learning about mountaineering and Everest, K2, Annapurna, all those mountains. It's crazy, man. Absolutely crazy. And to see it become as commercialized as this just blows my mind. Absolutely blows my mind. But yeah, man. Hey, anybody sees this and you plan on climbing this year, I wish you well. Be safe. Take care of yourself. Listen to your Sherpa. Pay attention. With that said, I am Cheap. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate it. If you enjoyed the video, like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And catch you in the next one.